So hello and welcome to our third digital church vlog from the Learning Network.
First one I've been a part of.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Well, welcome Katie.
This is great.
James is well, I guess he's got bar humbug as we're talking Christmas and Advent. He's decided not to. Is he?
Don't let James hear that. So we're here because we've been looking around online and into the people we work with and support, all of their digital offerings. But it's not just digital offerings really, is it? Because we're in that zone of the hybrid working model. So we've been looking at digital offerings that translate to in-person offerings as well. So where do we start, Tizz?
Well, I think in some ways we always kind of go, well, we know the theme.
Yeah, that's true. Christmas.
But I think this year, different organisations are pulling out from that theme different key points. So I would, like with almost any missional activity, it's all about context. It's about thinking what where your community is, both your church community, but also the community in which that church is part of.
Belongs to.
What you sense is going on.
We were talking earlier as well about when you said we know the theme, actually there is a difference with Advent and Christmas theologically, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's about drilling down into who are your people and what level of entry point are people coming to is, and hopefully it's a wide offering, it's a really wide welcome for all. So it's those just interested in the celebration time of Advent and Christmas, and those who want to go theologically deeper. So it's a really wide pitch at this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite a challenge and quite a blessing that we get this opportunity, I think, Advent and Christmas.
It's one time of the year where the doors are more open, but there is a bit more interest in that.
True. So the Methodist Church this year, their theme is Great Joy for All the People.
Yeah.
And their theme is that because of the COVID, really, coming out of COVID and the great suffering that's been occurring for many families and households, and it's speaking into that suffering with news of joy and celebration. And there's many nativity resources, reflections, social media posts and videos, and the Methodist Church have put out there the CD music again that did really well last year, that was downloaded many times, or not downloaded many times, that was posted out many times. And they have several postcards and posters available, but they're clear with their theme, Great Joy for all the people. And we know that the Church of England's theme is the heart of Christmas. So both Methodist Church and Church of England really going into scriptural root, but coming at it from different angles. So the heart of Christmas is based on the story of Mary's perception of that expectant mother, of the waiting and the wonderment of about to give birth, and that joyful wonderment, awesomeness of the message and the heart of the Christmas story. So those two themes run throughout the offerings that the Methodist Church and the Anglican Church have put together. And what about, because you've got a theme for your local church too?
Yeah, so in our local church, we decided, we looked at some material from CPO. So all the links we talk about, Katie or I mentioned, hopefully in the chat, on the bio, on the YouTube channel, you'll see links to all these things. But CPO did some great stuff, and one that jumped out at us was God with us. And so we've bought some banners to go on the roadside by our church, and we've got some invitations which have the same image on them. But we just, in our context, we thought that was a phrase that really resonated with us. So have a look at all of these resources and pick the one that you sense the Spirit is urging you to use with your community.
And from context, you start to be able to discern what your resources, what your planning is going to be, what your resources. You were talking earlier about Elf on the Shelf being a culturally really relevant activity that people do with their families.
So here in our circuit, Pete Bangs does some work around that, and it's about the wise men. So instead of the elf on the shelf, took that idea, and so if you look on my Facebook page, on the Intergenerational Mission Facebook page, I've got a link to Pete's stuff about that. So
I want to just quickly link to, on the Methodist Church's main website, we can see some understanding of the scriptural roots of the theme for this year, with some key points of reference for how to go deeper.
We've also spent a bit of time looking at some resources. One big resource that we've recommended in other places, but is to go to canva.com.
That's right, yeah.
A way of creating your own resource, really clever piece of graphic design tool, really. So you can make images, posters, pictures, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. I don't know if we can do TikTok on it, but...
I don't know, but I'm useless at creating any online content. I leave that to the rest of my experts in my team. But that looks really straightforward to use. I've watched a few tutorials and I thought, wow, this is something even I could pick up and use. Video overlays, video editing software, creating your own badges to put online. So it's a fantastic resource.
So have a look at that. I'm going to go back with one I referred to before, but Premier digital.info. I've got some really good videos on there about Advent and things like that. But one of the things they talk about, and Katie, I know you watched something about this as well, is how do we do Blue Christmas? Recognising that we've had a really tough 18 months, 2 years really, and lament can feature in our Christmas as it can in any other season. So one of the really practical suggestions is using the 21st of December, the longest night, which is often a difficult time for people. Maybe decorating, if you're going to do something online, maybe creating a backdrop with a Christmas tree, but maybe with blue lights rather than bright lights, just to kind of help people see that we recognise the fraughtness and the sadness that sometimes come with the season as well. Yeah,
that's right. There's a lot of details on Church Support Hub about this idea of Blue Christmas, to supporting the bereaved and those in suffering. Some other websites I looked at, Tizz, was the Bible Society, doing a lot of resources for young people. Their theme is the Impossible Promise. There's video animations on there for young people, along with Makaton signing, and there's some downloadable fun booklets for colouring and this, I love the idea of a rehearsal-free nativity play, so something you can just pick up and roll with. Fantastic.
They're always a winner in my book. An improvised nativity is always a great idea. And we've also looked at a couple of places, because we recognise that some of us having online or on site works well, but there are some people who won't necessarily fall into either of those camps particularly. So don't forget the prayer resources are out there, Dial a Prayer,
the Methodist link,
and the Dial a Hope from the Church of England. They're still up and running, so go and check those out. Again, the links will be in the chat. So
people can phone in from home and engage with services, prayers, reflections, and even on the Daily Hope, there's even sort of chair exercises that you can access through that telephone line.
Why are you looking at me like I need to do chair exercises?
Well, no, I'm not looking for those reasons. There's also Christian Aid, for example, and JPIT are perhaps offering resources online for alternative Christmas messages. Christian Aid, their theme is Stand With Mum's Appeal. So there's a charitable appeal, but alongside that there's downloadable sermons and sort of service sheets and videos and nativity scripts that approach Christmas from a slightly different angle. And likewise with JPIT, they have downloadable Advent candle prayer services, some prayers for Sundays in Advent. So those are more downloadable with some video resources too. And I think that's what we're seeing, aren't we? There's online, there's some key sites that are really useful for that offering of online, in-person. So there's the downloadable resources and there's the shareable media resources like video content. And we know video is a core thing that we should be engaging with online, because that's what people are looking at these days. According to all the statistics, all of our digital insights, video is really where it's at. So it's creating our own videos, and it's perhaps sharing those resources already available.
So one way I've seen of doing that is to create space to integrate the two things. So last year I saw a Christmas tree trail, so physical Christmas trees, but on each one a QR code. So you could hover your smartphone over it, took you to a website, and you would have the story or a video or a
Yeah, that's
song
great.
even, that kind of thing. So like the digital content was there amongst the physical
Yeah.
tree. Another church I know, well, my church, we have a food bank, and we like to give the families some Christmas presents. So we put a tree up outside our church with baubles, and in the bauble is a gift tag. So we encourage people to come and take a gift tag. Has a name, not a name. It has the sex of a child and the age of a child on that, and we ask you to go away and buy a present. Use that gift tag on the wrapped present, so that nobody sees what it is until that child opens that present.
Oh, that's
Christmas
really
season.
lovely, like a
So-
secret Santa.
Yes, but it's again, it's a combination. So we put that out on our Facebook page, but there's a physical tree outside the church. People can come anonymously if they want and take one away and then bring it back on a certain time. So we have time to pack them up safely,
Yeah.
deliver them in a COVID safe way.
It's like,
But so go back to that in summary, I suppose. Go back to your theme. What is it you really want to unpack this Christmas? What is the message of your Christmas? What is it you're trying to say to a community?
build your team. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's already there. Know what resources are available, from the technical equipment you might need if you want to live stream your Advent services, to the social media channels that you've got up and running, to the experts on your team who you might want to use later to pull apart the statistics and start looking at the insights from your social media sharing and videos, because really we want to see these people through a journey into the new year, don't we? We don't just want to say hello, we're here at Christmas. We want to be able to create relationship and invite those people back, or listen to those people and walk with them into the future. So having someone who can tell us insights and who we can keep linking into those communities is a really key point I think we should make.
And we'd love to see anything you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Learner Network team, or I would love to see, if you're running a messy church, if you're running a Chris Dingle, if you're running carols, get some photos. We've got social media platforms we'd love to fill up with that sort of stuff as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you in the new year.
In the new year. Thanks, Tizz.